Right then, so as most of you are aware, I've just recently completed the Cumbria way over 5 days with Paul, and I've had quite a few requests to do a bit of a pack load out video, so that's why I'm up here at minute tonight. We're up on Kinder Scout, one of my favourite camping spots. I've camped here numerous times. So yeah, I'm just going to do a quick video, a quick load out, a quick video of what's in my pack, of what I took on 5 days doing the Cumbria way. Right then, we'll get straight into it. So starting with the pack, this is the Atom Packs Atom VX35 litre, which is a limited edition pack. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because I am going to be doing a separate dedicated video about this. First look at this, because these packs are currently not available to the public. Dexter and Tom kindly sent me this out as a limited pack for me to do Cumbria way with. So yeah, I'm going to do a separate video to that. So yeah, that is the pack, the Atom Packs Atom 35 litre VX35. So on the side, of course, first starter bag when we arrive at campsites is of course your tent. So that is the Durston X-Mid 1P solid, 1P being one person of course, solid being the solid mesh, or solid should I say, rather than mesh. Next off is the trekking poles. Of course the Durston X-Mid is a trekking pole tent. So what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, I'm going to set the tent up. So we've got a little bit of a backdrop to video. So yeah, tent, trekking poles, that is my pegs. So in there we've got a selection of Easterns, 6" and 9". So if you just give me a couple of minutes, we'll get the tent set up, reposition camera, and then we'll go through rest of what's outside the pack, and then we'll delve into what's just inside it. Right then, a quick change of position. As you can see, we've got tent up now. Slight change of position with camera. I'm just trying to position camera so that we're not shooting directly into the sun. I've had to move it about a bit. There's a lot of light and shadow going on, and there's a few midges knocking about as well now. So yeah, let's get straight into what's on outside at pack firstly. So on top, typically carried just a light fleece. So that is my OM or OMM core hoodie that I'd put on typically on a morning if it were a bit cool, and then as the day warmed up that would come off. Sit mat explains itself, and we're taking them time outs at little streams and having 5 minutes here and there. That's to hang straight off at top of the bag. So that is my sit mat, that is the Thermarest Z Lite sit mat or something like that. On the back of the pack, this is typically as well what my pack would have looked like, especially from day 2 onwards. The only difference being is on day 1 I didn't have my towel hung on back. So that is the towel which I used. It's a Decathlon towel, and it's basically an hand towel really, but I didn't want to be taking a full-on bath towel sized towel, if you know what I mean. So that, after the first night showers, following day and every day, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th day, that were hung up back. It were dried out nicely, ready for me shower and getting washed on a morning and things like that. Zoleo, I clipped it back just there. I fully charged that up 100% before we set off. Use that every day, set the location share session going every day so that Kerry knew exactly where we were. She knew that we were safe in this and other. It were 100%, as I say, I charged it 100% before we set off, and when I switched it off at the end of I switched it off every night. I didn't, obviously it were only running through the day, but at the end of the 5th day when I switched it off, it were only down to something like 42%, which I thought is really good. Just on back here in elastics, just a cheap pair, I think they were £1, just a cheap pair of flip-flops which I bought for several jobs, so just hanging about around campsiting rather than wearing my trail shoes, showers and an odd paddling, stream, pools, tarns as you saw on video. So just a cheap pair of flip-flops, a quid, did what they were asked to. Inside pack is, well, inside the back mesh should I say, and I'll get the water out as well. So I carried my B3, so on trail I didn't carry a lot of water, rather other than what were in the bottle holders on my straps. So they were two 600ml bottles of water which I put electrolytes in. I supped probably about 2 to 3 litre a day. Every time we came across a water source we refilled them. But then obviously I was filtering water with my B3, which there's a litre one, and then I had another 1 litre bottle as well, which typically on trail I didn't carry that water. Filtered water when we came across it, got a good litre in us, kept hydrated. Then at campsites just fill that up for brews, making my teas, etc. But that is what my water was. 2 600ml bottles, filter and a litre bottle. Other side pocket, so as you've already seen on that side pocket, that's where temp was. I took the Trangia fuel bottle. This is the 500ml, and to be honest I could have got away with my smaller one. I think it's 8 ounce or something like that. I forget which one it is. It's the one from Valley and Peak Vargo. This is 500ml, and to be fair, as I said, I could have got away with less than half of that because there is probably still about 300ml in there. In hindsight, again, it's something that I could have probably saved a little bit of weight on. So digging into here, I never wore this. This is my Rab Vital wind hoodie. Never felt the need to put that on. As you'll have all seen front videos, it was nice and warm. Really nice hot temperatures that we got. So I never took that. I think this is the Fuse waterproof jacket. Again, didn't need it, as you've seen front videos. Beautiful weather, so again, took it. Probably didn't need to in hindsight, but it was here just in case. So that is the front elastic emptied, front emptied. Let's get on to what's inside the pack. What I typically do when I'm packing all my packs, no matter whether it's this one or my more 50 litre, I have a Nyla fuel liner, so just at the top of the, and what I do is, I don't use stuff sacks for out, I shove my sleeping bag into the bottom so it fills all the nooks and crannies out, and then what I do is, I shove things into that then, so that you're utilising space basically. And then I have a layering system, flat, try and get everything as flat as possible, layer it in. So this is exactly how this pack was packed when we did Cumbria away. So first start, basically that is just another mat for inside tent, just as a protection, a layer of protection against out sticking up through bottom of your inner. So that is the first start. Then that is my Rab Mythic Ultra vest, or Mythic vest, Mythic light vest, whichever one it is, I can't remember now. Again, I think one at nights I put that on, a little bit chilly later on, one at nights, and I did just put it on just to add a little bit of warmth. Next start is my food. We set off with no more than 3 days worth of food, or 2.5 days worth of food. So obviously we set off on first day, we only needed a meal that night. The second day we had a breakfast and a meal. Beginning at third day we had a breakfast. Third day we were going into Keswick, we knew we were going to be supplying in Keswick, at Cotswolds at Keswick. So I carried no more than 4 meals in there, dehydrated meals. Carried my coffee bags. I rationed my centre 3 coffee bags per day, so there were 3 coffee bags in there. I'd got bits and bats of snack bars, Snickers, muesli bars, breakfast bars, these protein, nut bars, that type of thing. That's what were in there. I got my lighter, little Swiss Army knife that I always carry. I think I might have used that maybe once in, I don't know, I bet I've had that about 12 or 15 years. Again, I might have only used it once. It's always there just in case. My spoon in there. I think total weight of the food I took were around somewhere like 1.7 kilogram. It was the heaviest single piece of weight that I got in bag basically. Obviously dehydrated food and spoons and this and that other, it all adds to a little bit of weight, doesn't it? The next started bag, again as you can see everything's coming out all nice and laid flat, layered. That is my Thermarest Z-Lite, is it? Neoware X-Lite should I say. Can't see past that, it's a nice lightweight, you all know what Thermarest X-Lites are like, they're a cracking pad, really nice and comfy. But yeah, that is a Thermarest Neo X-Lite. Next art, again staying with layering system, that is my spare clothes. This was just like a little bit of a Ziploc compression pack. So in here I typically had a change of clothes, so I had spare socks, I had this one as I got changed as we got to campsites on the night, got a nice fresh shower, changed into these clothes what I got in here. You felt nice and fresh then, nice and clean, nice and fresh, nice and warm. So that is my Senchi Lark hoodie what I put on. I've then changed into my Step 1 tights, absolutely brilliant them. I've got a couple of pair of them, and I also wear Step 1 pants for hiking in as well. I think there's something like the bamboo, about 100% bamboo or near enough, and they're absolutely brilliant for hiking in. And like I say, I've got a couple of pair of them what I wear in bed on a night. So Senchi Step 1 leggings, and then I've got a Rab base layer what I always wear. This is a really thin, lightweight thin. This is a merino base layer, so it gives you a little bit of warmth as well. Change into that, and then I typically have, like I say, I've just showed you, typically a change of socks and a change of pants, and that's what I have in there. So that all went in there. That squashed down nice and flat as you've seen as I took it out, and I'm getting attacked by midges. So then moving on to hygiene in there, that is my hygiene and toiletry kit. So in there I've got toiletry wipes, trowel, cleansing wipes, a mini deodorant, alcohol gel, a small toothbrush and toothpaste. So that was my hygiene kit. I then had in here, and in hindsight I really ought to have carried this. This is my first aid kit. I really ought to have, I buried this in my pack, and if I ever would have needed it I'd have been getting everything out like what I'm doing to get to that, so I would have in hindsight carried it in my rule waste pack. But basically in there is a small pair of scissors, a pair of tick tweezers. I suffer from hay fever, so in there I've got loratadine tablets or Piriton, whichever you want to call it. I've got a roll of plasters, I've got ibuprofen, I've got like a pack of plasters, and then I've got a Beckinase, which is the spray, the hay fever spray that you put up your nose. So then as I was explaining, I shoved my sleeping bag into there, and then I shove things into it so that it swallows the space up, and then you can shove stuff into it. So in there I've got my cook set, consists of, I'm not going to get it all out, but that is the Altkit Mighty 900. In there is my Sea to Summit collapsible mug, speedster stove, burner, and then my Stormin Norman cone, which sadly is no longer available. So that is my cook set, nicely packed away all into one nice neat little compact system. That next out of bag is my electricals. So this is the Valiant Peak insulated pouch, and typically inside here I'd have a anchor, power bank, charging cable, my little flex tail pump for my mattress, and then that doubles as a lantern for inside. And then I'd literally got my Bindi head torch, which I never even used it, because like I said, the flex tail doubles up as a little lantern, and that were plenty enough. So that were my electricals, didn't need naught else. So then what else we got in here? Got my pillar, which is the Sea to Summit Eros Premium Regular. You all know what they are. And then in here, stuffed into, like I say, the Nyla fume pack that goes into the nicely fits into that there is my sleeping bag. Now this is the Rab Mythic 400. This has a sleep comfort of -1 and a limit of -6, which does me perfectly well for pre-season. I have got the Mythic 600 for winter, which goes down to something like comfort -6 or 8 and about -16 or something limit, which is absolutely fantastic. Really good lightweight bags. This one weighs about 600 grams or something like that, which for the 3-season bag, can't complain at that, can you? In my side pouches, my hip belt pouches, I ought to have that on there because there's that many bloody midges flying about. A midge head net, which I didn't use, and then again I didn't use these. I've got a lightweight buff, a lightweight beanie, some lightweight power stretch gloves. Again, didn't need them, weren't cold enough to be wearing them. I didn't need them. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have took them if I'd have known how warm it was and what weather we were going to get. And the other side, I always carry one of these little pink wipes, the type of thing that you sponge your tent down with. I keep it in that plastic bag, and then it's always damp, because if you let them dry out, these, it's a little bit harder to get the dampness back in them, so that you can actually wipe your tent down or clean up or out like that. So I keep it in that bag, keeps it nice and moist. It's got some moisture in it then, and I can just use it straight away. And then also in there, I just carry my Sky Watch, the Explorer 2. You all know what them are. Records wind, ice, gust, temperature and wind chill. So that's what that is. That goes in there. I always keep that in there. So yeah, that is the pack load onto the rule. So this is what I typically keep in a rule. Just in front there I've got a sweatband, a sweat rag. You all know that's for sweat rag. And I've got just a little hemp lip seal for when it's warm. Just inside here I'd carry my sunglasses, Nomad sunglasses, which I wore pretty much most of the time. The electrolyte tablets in there, so that when I was restocking with water, I could just get a electrolyte tablet out, put one in each bottle. I can't recommend them highly enough. When you're doing long distance walks like that and you're sweating, and the amount of salt and minerals and and that type of stuff that you lose through your sweat, it's imperative that you put them back in. It keeps you fresh, it stops you from cramping up and your muscles tightening and everything. Really good thing. Just a mixture of snacks, Snickers, Kit Kats with protein, nut bars in there. And then what I had as well, I've not fetched any on this trip, but I had a couple of bags, and in there, as I showed you in one of the videos in Fuston, I've got jelly babies, peanut M&Ms in there. So like in each pack, in each one of them, I've got 2 bags of M&Ms and 2 bags of jelly babies, which again, as you're walking, just to keep popping an handful in, keeps the energy levels up. And then also I've got a pair of earbuds, Bluetooth earbuds for listening to music and listening to the phone and stuff like that. Again, thought I was going to use them, didn't get round to using them. Again, hindsight, probably wouldn't have took them, saved a few grams. So that is it. That is the load out, what's in my pack load out, or what I took on my Cumbria way, on my 5-day Cumbria way. Really enjoyed it. Paul really enjoyed it. We covered something like 80 miles, 81 miles of it 5 days. I thoroughly recommend it. I'll definitely be doing it again at some point in future. Maybe from north to south this time. The recommended way is from south to north, isn't it? From Ulverston to Carlisle. But I think I'd like to have a go at it from Carlisle to Ulverston the other way around. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing it again at some point in future. I'm going to get all this lot back in there, or most of it in tent for tonight's camp. That's about it. So until next one, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on next one.